What's going on, everyone? So this is a chart of the SPY. You know that we were going into longs over here, and then we sold at the top. Then we bought into puts, and those puts overnight, those were up over 60% and over 100%. I alerted all of this stuff in the Discord server. If you guys want access, go ahead and click the link in the bio, channel description, all that good stuff. It's free. You're not losing anything, and you'll be a part of the community of where I share everything, and it's a really nice community that we built. So yeah, essentially we went short, and the market is now fallen, right? We fell into the abyss. So in today's video, I'm gonna try to explain my thoughts of what I think is going to happen next. Obviously, taking into account that 8:30 tomorrow is the Powell meeting, and on Monday the market is closed, and also quad witching tomorrow. So there's a lot to talk about. So let's get started with the video. So like I said, number one, Powell is speaking tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. There's a lot of uncertainty. There's three main things that are going to be basically happening tomorrow. Powell speaks at 8:30 in the morning. Quad witching, basically all of the options are going to be expiring, which is also going to cause a lot of volatility. And on Monday, there's going to be, the market is going to be closed. So we're going to have the added, do people want to hold over the weekend? Okay, so what we can gather so far from this chart is clearly this is weak, right? But it isn't extreme overextensions to the downside that I would be comfortable buying in. This doesn't automatically mean that we're going to bounce, right? The reason for that is one of them is that the MACD is moving upwards here. So you can see this blue MACD line, it's curved upwards. Yet the price of the SPY is falling downwards. And usually when the MACD is pointed upwards like this, the stock should also be bouncing. But the fact that the opposite is happening is very, very bearish. Also, the RSI is pointed lower. So you can see that there's clear weakness here. The RSI is showing weakness before the MACD. So essentially, right, what this weakness is basically showing, plus the Bollinger Band is falling very, very sharply. So you can see that the lower Bollinger Band price, you could look at it right here, right? When that number shows. The lower Bollinger Band price here is 372.49 for yesterday. For today, it's 367.79. So that's almost a 5-point decline of the lower Bollinger Band. So even if we have like a 4-point decline tomorrow, and the SPY opens at like 362.50, right? The SPY will still be trading within the Bollinger Band, which means that it's not extremely overextended to the downside, which means that it is not yet safe, in my opinion, to go long. So at the moment, we are very overextended to the downside. It makes sense why we would have a bit of a relief rally. But these indicators are showing, they're telling a different story. And that's my only issue here. So one of the main reasons why I really do think that we can continue to fall lower is purely because yesterday when we did have a bounce, we failed to retest 385, which was a very, very key psychological level to test. And it was also a major level of support prior, right? So this was a very, very major level of resistance. And we couldn't even touch it. We couldn't even break above 384, let alone 385. So the fact that everything was basically set up for us, the MACD was curling upwards. We were extremely overextended to the downside for 2 days in a row. But even all of those bullish, this whole bullish setup, we couldn't even break above 384. That is very, very bearish to me. And that's why, in my opinion, like, it furthered my conviction of going short overnight yesterday. So now, like, that same concept still plays into, it's still relevant at the moment. So that's why I think that the market can continue falling lower, and it would be the easiest to buy a dip if we have a really. So now essentially it's a matter of what are the odds to happen. Like, are we going to really flush down lower overnight? Are we going to flush down lower intraday tomorrow? Are we going to gap up? Are we going to open up flat and then move upwards tomorrow? Are we going to be flat and fall? You know, there's a lot of different scenarios, right? But none of them are high quality. It's going to be flipping a coin. And personally, that does not give me enough conviction to hold any major positions overnight. And I mean, yeah, so essentially, if we can continue to show this extreme weakness, then what will end up happening is the SPY can gap down even further to 362, 363, have a bit of a relief bounce intraday, and then just continue falling lower. Because right now we are riding the lower Bollinger Band. And this looks very, very similar to January. Because, yeah, we closed outside of the Bollinger Band, but we can continue closing for multiple days in a row outside of the Bollinger Band. And the only sign that I take as an extreme is if we open outside of the lower Bollinger Band. That's when the timer starts. That's the secret sauce, is when we start to open outside of the lower. That's when, in my opinion, is the only safest. That's when it's the safest time to go long during a bear market. And currently we're in a bear market. Closing outside of the lower is not a good enough reason for a high quality trade setup in this bearish environment, because we can see time and time again that isn't a guarantee that we will gap up. It's not a high enough chance, and it's not worth it. There's a lot of high quality setups intraday that people can take instead. So yeah, I mean, there's that for the SPY. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ, same concept. It's riding the lower Bollinger Band down. You can see that the MACD is curling upwards. The price of the NASDAQ is falling lower. Very, very bearish. Take a look at Apple. Same concept, riding the lower B band down. All the technicals are basically aligned with everything, essentially. For everything, all the technicals are the same. So people are just basically going, it would be much safer to just take the next few days off and just wait for Tuesday. But since you know, most of us are psychopaths, we want to put ourselves in danger and we want to trade as much as possible. So, but a normal person, a responsible adult, will wait for uncertainty to subside and then trade on Tuesday. But none of us are going to do that. So yeah, man, it's going to be a pretty interesting day tomorrow. But overall, I mean, yeah, all of this stuff is just historical. Like, this is really, really historical stuff that we're going through. And it's an amazing time to be going through this stuff with a group of people that are also trying to better themselves in a nice environment and stuff. And yeah, man, these are just historical times. We're going to look back on this in like 10, 15, 20 years and be like, damn, wow, what was I doing in 2022? I was trading during this time. Like, we're going to tell our kids about this stuff. And it's just, this is really, really cool to me. But yeah, man, I mean, it's really tough to say where we're going to go tomorrow. I'm not holding anything crazy. And yeah, essentially, I mean, same concept for Bitcoin. We can, like, I could talk about the technical indicators and stuff, but people are just also really worried about 3 Arrow Capital now. So there's Celsius, there's 3 Arrow Capital, there's the MSTR, there's so many different things and so many different companies on the verge of being liquidated. That is not good for the overall crypto market. So yeah, man, just be careful. It's basically setting up for a very, very violent flush downwards. And again, you know, this isn't an automatic sign for us to go long yet. But yeah, overall, I mean, those are my thoughts. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thank you guys for the likes, the comments, the subscribes, the support, the love. But yeah, I mean, it was just an uneventful video. I can't really give like definitive direction. And yeah, just play it safe and be patient. All right, so I'll see you guys probably over the weekend is when I'm going to post the next video. All right, so have a good one.